Hello, hello, hello. I briefly pressed the wrong button. I don't think anybody noticed though, so shh. We're doing the news again. Not the news. No more news. We're on the Daily Mail website. They've got a COVID map. And this is based on the data from the Office of National Statistics. Let's have a look. Here's the COVID map. We can see. Where are we? Can I find me? I haven't got where we are. There we go. So yeah, you can tell just how COVID-y you are. I reckon as many as 1 in 14 people were infected in the worst affected parts of the country because Kraken is cracking on. 2.2 million people in England were infected with the Kraken. Though the figure is down 11% in a week. But as the death rates, there's lots of graphs to look at. You want to look at, if you like graphs. Do you like graphs? Look, there's a graph. But yeah, Kraken. Apparently, Kanye West. Do you know Kanye West? Apparently, he's got married. Yeah. Apparently, he's married Bianca Censori. Who's she? Well, here she is here. Is it? I don't know. Is it at McDonald's? I think it's taken for a slap at McDonald's. She's a designer on one of his Yeezy company. Does anyone care? But yeah, he don't go around, does he? Meanwhile, this is Simon Cowell. Remember him, the music mogul? Well, apparently he was out with his missus in London, and he winked at the camera. I don't know about you, it looks like he's having a stroke to me. I thought when they said he winked at the camera, I thought they meant he did this because he can't move his face anymore. But there you go. Remember, folks, you might have it bad, but at least you're not Simon Cowell with all that money. Yeah. Oh, that's Harry News. Oh no. Meanwhile, research for the Mail Online. Oh, that can't be good. So if you should people with colds go into the office? And well, I think you can see it's the answer is 52% say yes, 30% say no, 17% they just don't know. There you go. They think if you're sick you should work. Of course they do. It's the Daily Mail. Of course you should spread your diseases. And when the kids are sick, I say you go to school. You go to school. You make sure everybody else gets as sick as you. Because that's how we strengthen our immunity. I'm not being selfish. No. What else have we got? Oh, which of these cards would you pick? Right, this is the story. This is a study. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be a mind reader. I haven't read the story, but I'm going to tell you just by looking. You've already picked, right? You've picked number 3. There you go. I've got a funny feeling that's going to be the most popular card. Where are we? This is. I was reading. This is a scientific study involving Goldsmith University on 60 people to pick a card, any card, from 40 options. Oh, and there we go. I was right. It was number 3. There we go. Did you get number 3? And I think I know why that is. I think it's because people don't like taking cards from the edges of things. They tend to go for the middle in card tricks. I read this somewhere. Because I used to do card tricks when I was a kid. I pulled out. I've got it somewhere. Complete set of Paul Daniels magic tricks. They're probably worth nothing. But yeah, science discovered when faced with 4 cards and asked to choose, most people will pick third from the left, and you don't have to be in the magic circle to figure it out. And it is also to do with your left and right-handed as well, apparently, according to this. And they say people have an innate dislike of edges, things from the edge. Again, I've heard of that before. It's about conformity. People don't want to be on the edge of things, and they tend to go for the middle. And whether you choose 3 or 2 is dependent on whether you're left and right-handed, I believe. But yeah, there's a study. They've done a study of it at Goldsmiths University. Good to see. They're busy there. But yeah, Dr. Gustav Kuhn, first author of the study, said, we know from previous research that people are more likely to select an object from the middle of a row and select objects that are convenient to reach, because basically we're lazy. The interesting part is we're often completely oblivious to the choices we make and erroneously think that we are full of control of our thoughts and actions. You're not. And you should always, if you want to be random, you should always do the opposite to the thing that you want to do. What? What's going on? Dog cam. What's going on? What's the matter? You're interrupting me. You know that. You're interrupting me. It's good here, isn't it? So there you go. But did I get it right? Leave your answers in the comment box below. You won't. You won't do that. Let's have some road rage. We've got some road rage. Here we go. Whee, that is some road rage. Right, that was a woman. Oops, where is it? A woman driving a silver Toyota into the back of a parked black Ford at the Apple Green petrol station in Duleek, County Meath in Ireland. And then the woman gets out of the car and screams. Let's watch it again. Now, again, I wonder what the argument was all about. It looks kind of serious, but there must have been an argument beforehand, because these people were videoing it. And, it's quite, looks like it's quite heated. She's getting out now. She's upset. And then whoa! That's some violence. Oh. Threw a can of pop. Well, there you go. That's road rage for you. Thanks for playing. But yeah, they want to know who it is. There were swears involved. There's swears involved. But nobody knows who she was. I wish everyone could just get along. This is a good one. Smoking. Now in New Zealand, I don't know if you've been following the situation in New Zealand. In New Zealand, they're phasing out smoking with immediate effect. So it's going to be, I think anyone who's like 18 now are the last people to be able to smoke, and then they're phasing it out. Well, again, more research from the Daily Mail, right? I've come up with these statistics, and I was surprised. People are in favour of a ban of smoking over here. Look, 31% want rid of it. There you go. Wow, it's pretty good. but according to their stats, 52% want an immediate end to cigarette sales, while 70% say UK should follow New Zealand's legislation and slowly phase out the good really. But the problem with that is tobacco duties will raise £10.7 billion in 2022-23 financial year. So how are you going to make that money up? They're going to have to tax something else. And it's important because the economy has grown. It's grown in November. Yeah, it grew by, hold on to your hats, 0.1%. They reckon it's because everyone went out to the pub to watch the World Cup and got pissed. Yeah, there it is. Here's a graph for you. For those who like graphs, there it is. Hooray! Does that mean we're not in recession because there's been a period of growth? That we dodged the recession bullet? Got a lot to hear about Lisa Marie Presley because she died of a heart attack, age 54. Great shame, but don't go on Twitter because they're all blaming it on the COVID vaccine, not her various substance dependencies that she had throughout her life. And also, they reckon it could be a genetic defect because all of Elvis Presley's relatives died of heart attacks. Yeah, 3 uncles in his 40s that died. There you go. So it could be a genetic predisposition. But yeah, poor old Presley. What else have we got here? Here we go. This is police news. They're looking for a fella called Bailey Gover, and he's been looked at by the Greater Manchester Police. They're on the hunt for him for stalking and malicious communication offences, and I think he's quite recognisable. Though you never know. He might have had a haircut. What do you reckon? Do you reckon you'll spot him? Yeah. But good news, and this is good news. More experts, this time in the field of energy prices, they reckon that the warm winter, it doesn't feel particularly warm, maybe they mean warm across Europe, is forcing gas prices down. And they reckon that the energy price cap could fall below £2,500 from July. Hooray! But yeah, so we really do need those energy prices to fall. But gas prices are low at the moment, but they haven't passed on those savings just yet, have they? Talking of gas. Dog's just jumped on the sofa there. Talking of gas, they reckon that new gas boilers will be banned within a decade so that we can reach our net zero policy, for greenhouse gases and carbon emissions. Oh God. Yeah, a review carried out by Tory MP Chris Skidmore urges government to phase out gas boilers by 2033 rather than 2035. That two year window, it makes all the blooming difference. We just finished paying off our gas boiler, and it took us 5 years. There you go. But good news, because they reckon to get these replaced, replacing boilers will cost households and replacing the boiler and buying electric cars will cost households £4,000 to £6,000 each by 2040. They reckon that the electric, like central heating boilers, are very expensive to run. I don't like the sound of any of that. Don't like it. Meanwhile, if you go down to Tesco's, right? This is at the Tesco local site in Tower Bridge Road in Southwark. Tesco Express. You get more for less. The meat is under lock and key. Yep. Bacon is now a valuable commodity, and it's under lock and key. Obviously, they've got a bacon snatcher at the in Southwark. Ah dear. Yeah, you've got to ask a member of staff whenever you want some sausages. Hey, 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 hey. What else have we got here? Talk about Harry's book. Don't want to know about Harry's book. There's lots going on about memories and memories being wrong in Harry's book. Everyone, Air New Zealand's had a go. The people who read it have had a go. Dickie Arbiter, who was the Queen's ex-press secretary, he wants an apology because he was misquoted. Oh, sounds like the book is full of mistakes and errors. Meanwhile, this is interesting, I guess. This is health news. NHS are now allowing anyone over 18 to get statins. Yeah, GPs will be able to prescribe life-saving statins to anyone who wants them under new guidance. And funny, well, here's a stock image of a box of statins, just so you know. I mean, I've been offered these because, again, being a diabetic, I'm supposed to have a high risk of cholesterol, and statins. I don't want to be any more tablets. It's hard enough getting my medication. So yeah, everyone will be able to have the 2p a day tablets. Woohoo! The National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, nice, have updated its guidelines. And statins are a group of medicines that can help lower bad cholesterol in the blood. Having too much of that cholesterol, called low density lipoprotein, LDL, can make your arteries go thick and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. And statins stop the liver from producing so much LDL. Oh God, I don't fancy it myself. Meanwhile, okay, is this a TikToker? I don't know, or is it an Instagrammer? I don't know, but this is. Here we go. Let's pull the footage up. She's on one of the world's highest buildings with a selfie stick. Yeah, that's the footage. Oop. Let's pull that up. This is on Instagram. Don't usually go to Instagram. It's pretty high, I guess, but not very smart. All she needs is a gust of wind, and she's gone, isn't she? That is Russian free climber Angela Nicolau, and she was at the Merdeka Tower in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. It's 2,227 feet high, and she was with her boyfriend Ivan Birkus. And yeah, that's it's a pretty big skyscraper, but not very clever. Just stay at home. It's not very clever, is it? It's not very clever. What if you fall off? What if you don't fall off? Yeah, not good that. Yeah, this is an interesting story. I heard this the other day. There's this is the story of Olivia Dunn. She's a gymnast, an up-and-coming gymnast in America for the LSU. She's on the LSU gymnastics team, and they've had to hire a bodyguard for her. I can't think why. Let's have a look. Oh, wait a minute. I'm beginning to understand why. She's apparently a TikTok sensation. And wait a minute, I think there's a pattern here. But yeah, a load of something for the dads. They were a bit shocked apparently, because she was mobbed by many male fans. Yeah. And so now, for her safety and the safety of other gymnasts, because they were hassling other gymnasts and their families coming out of the performances, out of the events, they're going to have to hire bodyguards. Yeah, they're hiring bodyguards. She has a massive social media following and a net worth of $2.3 million. Well, she can afford it. She's good for it. But I reckon the teenage boys who were, you know, making their feelings known were rude and disrespectful. No, they're just randy. They're just randy. Meanwhile, don't do anything good. Why is that? This is Olivia Post from Battle in East Sussex. Here she is, being helpful. Look at that, she's putting rubbish into a bin. What could be wrong with that? Well, she got a £400 fine for fly tipping because she cleared up rubbish that was strewn on the street by foxes. Now, we get that a lot around here, especially as our dear refuse collector, they refuse to collect. No, they do. Biffa. They're useless. I've been moaning about them for 20 years now. Didn't take the recycling, and they didn't empty the bins before that. And they're like because of the snow, they're like about a fortnight or a week behind. So we've got a lot of foxes, many foxes, and Layla, let's get a picture of Layla. She doesn't like the foxes. She goes after them. But yeah, Olivia Post from Battle, she was tidying up, and they'd gone through, obviously she put some rubbish in the bin, and they'd done it again. The foxes had got it out, and in that rubbish bin was an address, you know, for her own rubbish, which had been split. And so they blamed her for the fly tipping. She said, I went and picked up the litter up, took the rubbish bag out of my kitchen, and she put it in one of the council bins. She said, but despite what she thought was doing a good deed, she said, I got a knock on the door from the officer, and they said, do you recognise this bag? She said, yes. He said, I'm giving you a fine and caution me. So she was fined for clearing up rubbish from I guess it was her own bag, and putting it in a litter bin. Okay, is that illegal, putting rubbish in a litter bin? Because that, and again the missus is looking at me, because we know there are certain people around here that don't put their litter in the bin, they actually put it in the public litter bins. Is that illegal? How can that be a fine? It's bizarre. How can that be fly tipping? But anyway, £400 fine. I guess she's appealing it. I can't bother to read any more of that story because it just seems ridiculous to me. It just seems ridiculous. Did you know that a parking ticket is given out every 2 seconds? Yeah. Councils and firms are on course this year to rake £1.3 billion in fines. Don't have a car. Don't go anywhere. Remember what I keep telling you? Not to go anywhere. You won't listen to me. Won't listen. Or what else have we got? How can I tell you this story without it being awful? This is the story of Pedro Federico Zarate. He was a trumpet player, and I say was. He was killed by his own missus, and she. Let's say he won't be playing trumpet anymore. He won't be playing with. He won't be playing with little Pedro either, because she cut little Pedro off. She did, and mutilated him. But they arrested his wife, Florencia Amado Catiano. Here they are in better times. Before she cut little Pedro off, it's a Bobbit case again. Yeah, she's been sectioned. So, don't worry, that was in, where was that? It was a horrible. That was in Argentina. Oops, that was in Argentina. That's not good, is it? Meanwhile, Michael Bay, you know Michael Bay, he directs those not awful Transformer movies. He's in trouble. Here he is. Here he is directing. But he likes blowing things up and making Transformers movies. But what's he in trouble for? Well, the 57-year-old filmmaker has been accused of killing a pigeon. Yes, this goes back to 2018, where he was filming a film called Six Underground in Rome, and a pigeon was killed by a dolly. A dolly is those tracks, and they have the camera on, and he denies it. He goes, "No, I didn't kill a pigeon with a dolly." He says, "I'm a well-known animal lover and a major animal activist. No animal involved in the production was injured or harmed, or any production I've worked on in the past 30 years. And yeah, Bay has been trying to clear his name with the Italian authorities for years, but hasn't managed to do it yet. And here he is. That's Michael Bay when he's not directing. And for those of you who don't know, that's a picture of a pigeon. You might have forgotten. So there you go. I mean, that's not right, is it? You know, kill pigeons. I don't think Michael Bay did it. I don't think he. Meanwhile, who says that comedy's dead? Right? Are you a big fan of Laurel and Hardy? Yeah. Are you a big fan of Laurel and Hardy? I know I am. But some say that they've been reincarnated, right? In Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Right? This is Andre Luiz and his father-in-law. And let's have a little look at what goes on. Here they are. So he gets the bar. He's just obviously working in an automobile repair shop, and ow! Oops! Like I said, who said all it needs is one of those piano ding 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 diddle ding 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 ding. Ding 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 diddle ding 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 ding. That's another fine mess you've got me into. So he's it was a simple accident. It will never happen again. It will never happen again, will it? And yeah, it happened again. They are the real life Laurel and Hardy, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah. Boink. Meanwhile, this is the story of Sandy Wood. Ooh. And pop-ups everywhere. We've gone to this is the Daily Mirror website, and what she did is she unfortunately died of tongue cancer. Here is Sandy Wood here, obviously before her death, But she decided that her funeral wasn't going to be boring. And in the middle of her funeral, she arranged, right, for a flash mob to get up and start dancing to the tune of Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. There you go. How cool is that? And they even went down the aisle there and did their little skit, but nobody was in on it. They didn't know. It was a big surprise for everyone. But yeah, one of her friends said when her coffin came in, she was intentionally late because in life she was always late, so she wanted to be late for a funeral too. You know, and then there was the flash mob as well. So there you go. That's something to do, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, have I done enough damage yet? I think I have. We could do. Should we do animal story? Okay, I'm going to end. I'm going to end it because I can feel the light shining on me. Right. We're going to Guernsey. And this one's from Channel Television. This is the story of a goldfish called Captain Birdseye. Now, I don't know if this is really him or if this is just a stock picture of him and a seagull. But anyway, Captain Birdseye, the goldfish, had a lucky escape, right? After being rescued from a hungry seagull. Indeed, he's been named Captain Birdseye by staff at the GSPCA, that's the Guernsey Society for Protection of Cruelty to Animals. He was found abandoned in a bucket and being attacked by a gull. Yeah, somebody had left him in a bucket. Yvonne Chauvel works at the GSPCA. Says they're working to locate Captain Birdseye's owners. But if they can't be tracked down in the next 3 weeks, he'll be put up for adoption. So we've asked to help all sorts of animals, but this is rare. We get to help a goldfish abandoned in a bucket who's being attacked by a gull. We've named him Captain Birdseye, and despite his injuries, he's doing well. There you go. There's a joke in there about fish fingers, but you know, I don't know. I'd be buggered if I could find it. But there you go. So that's the story of Captain Birdseye, the lost goldfish who was in a bucket being attacked by a seagull. Okay. That was terrible stories. These stories were awful. There should be better news. Why isn't there better news? Let's see if there's anybody in the chat. Who have we got in here? Oh, 6 people. Not many people in today. Jack says, whoa, indeed. Russell says, good afternoon. Thomas is in. He says, hi. Russell says, ban smoking, then the temptation is gone for some people. For all people. I just think it is the only thing that you can do to yourself that will actually limit your life, because, you know, carcinogens in cigarettes, it's an instant health hit. Even with alcohol, your body can fix itself after a single drink, but you know, the amount of time it takes the body to repair itself after smoking, not good. Tom says, but who will the government come for next? The fatties, I hope. Thomas gives me £2. I hope he's not a fatty. We know he's a smoker. Just think, that's £2 you could have spent on fags, mate. £2 you could have spent on fags. Here he is. He's giving me £2. I like Thomas. He's my favourite. Tom says, no good deed goes unpunished. Indeed. Andrew's in. He says, hi, Darren. Got the Bowie Blu-ray via your link. It was excellent. Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? Thanks for buying it. And Harry's in. He says, all right. Andrew says, Friday the 13th. I'm staying at home all day long. Indeed. Don't go out. That's my message. That's all I can recommend. Thomas says, I'm not a smoker. I was joking. It's a joke. It's a joke. Look, there's lots of things we should all stop doing, right? But cigarettes, look, cigarettes wiped out my family. Every single one of them would probably be here today if it wasn't for smoking. Well, except for my grandparents, because they would be in their hundreds by now, or their early 90s. I don't know. But both of those died 67. My mother died the same age, and she had copped as well. They were all chronic smokers, and I think it's a terrible, terrible thing. And it was manufactured. Again, it's one of those things manufactured by the tobacco industry, made desirable in films, advertising. People were programmed to be smokers. You know, it's the mass industrialisation of the tobacco industry, which we only saw in the 20th century. Before that, yeah, people used to smoke, but they couldn't afford to do it all the time. It was often done at once a day, at the end of the week, that kind of thing. And then it became a mass market, and look how many people it killed. Look how many cancers there were. Look how many, people died of various cancers. It's a terrible, terrible thing. And Tom says, I've never smoked a fag in my life. In America, he means a cigarette. It's not what you think it means. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. And that's it. That's the message. Don't smoke, kids, and don't do anything. Just don't do anything. Stay indoors. Do nothing. And we'll do this all again soon, I think. That was Friday. Have a good weekend. And that was it. That was the news. Killing the channel, one video at a time. That's Layla. She's over there. Look, she's having a kip. She's there. Russell says, I don't miss people smoking on the bus. Yeah. I tell you, did you ever have the unmitigated joy of being on an airplane with smokers? I did as a kid. People smoking. As soon as the plane got in the air, the light would go off and everyone would light up, and then you'd be on a transatlantic trip for several hours in a compartment full of. Oh, it was horrible. It used to make me very, very sick. Thomas says, my parents are smokers for 40 years. Well, if they're still alive, they're not doing it properly. All right? They probably don't inhale. So that's that. Ta-ta. See you soon. And drink it up.